Okay, so we got x squared minus 3y squared plus 2xy, and they're telling us that x is 1 and y is negative 8, and they want us to plug those in. So I'm going to plug in that 1 for x there, and there, and negative 8 for y there and there, right? Just plug them in. Remember when we plug into formulas with parentheses around them? So plug in the 1, plug in the negative 8, the 1, the negative 8. Put parentheses around the things you plug into formulas. Put parentheses around them. So 1 squared is 1 minus 3 times 64. What's that, 181? 192, I think. Is that good so far? So what's happening there? So just use your calculator. You okay with the signs, right? It's going to be a minus, and this is going to be plus 64, right? Because minus squared. So plus times minus is going to be minus. And here, just one minus sign makes that 16 minus, huh? All right, good. And then I don't know what that is. Minus 217? No, that's not right. I don't know what it is. 207, is that what it is? I'm sure you're right. Are they good? We get that? We okay? All right, so that's just a plug. Yeah, number 3, this big old word problem. It's simple. It's just a plug-in. Just grab that formula, h plus vt minus 4.9 t squared. It's just going to be a plug-in. So you don't even have to realize blah, 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 blah. Who cares? We have 3 letters, notice, H, V, and T, right? And then look what we have here. We have 3 numbers, 90, a 2, and an 80. Plug them in. That's all it is. Just got to know which one's which one, right? It's pretty easy, I think, if you think about it for a second. 90 meters high. You think that's H or V or T? 90 meters high? That's got to be H. Height, huh? Okay. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Well, notice what it says right here. T is the number of seconds. So 2 seconds, that's T. So that's T. Last thing, what's my V? Well, it's the only number left, right? It's the 80 meters per second. V is velocity. It says right here, V is velocity. Velocity is speed. I don't know if you ever heard that word before. Velocity means speed. So meters per second, it's like miles per hour. It's a speed. So sure enough, that's V. That's your 80. Just plug in the numbers, hit the buttons on your calculator. That's all this is. We don't need to read all those words. So 90 plus 160 minus something I don't know. 19.6 maybe? 230.4, I think. Is that right? That came out right? Good. Okay. There it is. Is that okay? That one's not a real word problem. There's no real word problems in tonight's homework. Like ones where you have to really work something out. That's just a plug-in. It's just a big fancy plug-in. Good? Okay, if I move on from that? All right. Again, stop me if I'm going too quick. Okay, so we got xy minus ab minus 6 minus xy minus 6ab minus 3. Yeah. All right, so you know what to do with that minus in the middle, right? What do we do with that minus in the middle? It distributes through the parentheses on the right, huh? So distribute that thing through the parentheses on the right. Changes all the signs in the parentheses on the right. So minus xy plus 6ab plus 3. Like that, like so. Right, the first parenthesis, just bring it down, no change. Second parenthesis, change all the signs. Okay, so xy minus xy drops out. And then minus AB and plus 6AB. Yeah, it's minus 1AB plus 6AB is 5AB. Good, and then minus 6 plus 3 is minus 3. And we're done. Just gather the like terms. You know all about this, right? Easy stuff. Should be a very easy section for you as well. Is that good? Questions on that one? Keep moving. So number 15. So we got 5x times x minus 7y quantity squared. Okay, so you know what to do, right? The parentheses first. Can I bring that power and bring it down and multiply the powers? Why not? Because of the, not the parentheses, because of the plus or minus sign, right? If that was, you all understand that? If that was x times 7y in there, I would totally do that. That would be okay, right? Powers outside parentheses, multiply powers inside, unless there's pluses or minuses, right? Pluses and minuses ruin all the easy rules. So that's it was minus, wasn't it? It was a minus. So instead, okay, so what do you got to do instead then? If you can't do that, what do? You write two of them. That's what I'm saying. You got to do longhand, which means you got to write two of them. Two of them like that. And okay. So now what are you going to do? You're going to FOIL out the so do the parentheses first. FOIL out the parentheses. Leave the 5x just kind of sitting in the front for a minute. Leave the 5x sitting there in the front. And FOIL out the parentheses. And then when you're all done with the parentheses, then let the 5x multiply also. See if you can get that. I'll finish it up. Okay, so the x is going to go to both. X squared minus 7xy. He's done. And then this guy goes to both. Minus 7xy plus, what is it back there? 49y squared. Is that good to there? That okay so far? And now these two are like terms, right? We can put them together. make minus 14xy. We don't do any powers right there because we're just adding, subtracting. Now distribute the 5x, right? Is that making sense? So I did all the parentheses, cleaned them up as much as I could. Now let that 5x from the front multiply through. Powers at, right? And there we go. Does that make sense? Everybody okay with this? So this is a pretty tricky one, right? When you have the 2 on the parentheses, you write 2 parentheses, FOIL it out, gather like terms, and then you let the 5x go through afterwards. Do the parentheses first, then let the 5x multiply through. Questions on that? That okay? Everybody okay with that last step? See what happened? As this 5x multiplied these guys, powers on the x's added, huh? Like x1, x2 is x3, and x1, x1 in the middle made x2 there, huh? That good? All right, I will move along here, and then we'll go on to the big bad last section. So how about x plus y minus 5 times x plus y plus 5? So that's going to be 3 terms with 3 terms, going to be 9 multiplications, right? So that x goes to all 3. It's going to be 9 multiplications, right? X to all 3. X squared plus xy plus 5x. Done. And then next comes the y is going to go to all 3. Plus xy plus y squared plus 5y. And then the minus 5 is going to go to all 3. Minus 5x minus 5y minus 25. Okay, so now let's gather like terms. So, all right, x squared is all by itself. So now we've got to gather all the like terms. So, xy, another, so it's 1xy, one more is 2xy. That's just it, huh? 2xy. And then 5x and 5x cancel, 5y and 5y cancel. We've got y squared, and we got minus 25. I don't know what order. Any order's fine on those. We'll just leave them like that. Is that good? Everybody see that stuff that canceled out? All right, you getting the hang of these? These are messy.